Today I thought I would go over some of the varieties of vegetables that we grow, and I want to tell you, in the case of the onions, why we grow them. We grow 3 different kinds or types of onions. We grow what I would call a flavorful onion, Asa Craig, and then we grow, the problem with Asa Craig is everybody loves Asa Craig because it's an onion that has the potential to grow quite large and impressive. And I can tell you some things that affect that potential. But so you've got what we consider to be a very flavorful onion that I don't think you can find in the supermarket, anything that flavorful. But if you're going to grow that style of onion, large, flavorful, you have to understand that it does not store very well. Now, because it doesn't store very well, you need to grow a storage onion. Typically, yellow onions are great for storage, and I'm going to show you what we grow for a storage onion. We've tried several different varieties for storage over the years. This year we're growing a variety called New York Early. We have in the past grown one called Rosa de Roscoff. And in fact, over in the garden, and I'll take you over there in a second, we're growing seeds for Rosa de Roscoff. But we have always had a problem with with size on Rosa de Roscoff. Roscoff, Roscoff. And I think I know why we're having a problem with size on those. So we are switching over to New York Early, I believe. And we actually grow the Rosa de Roscoff because we found them at a farmer's market that the famous market gardener Elliot Coleman was selling at. And we bought a 5-pound bag of these onions from him. And he really talked it up and just told us all how they're the famous Rosa de Roscoff onions from France. And Danielle, being of French descent, thought that was so great. And I did too. So we bought a 5-pound bag. But I took 2 of those onions and I put them in, each one in a 5-gallon pail of topsoil. And we grew seed. So we've been growing seed from those original 2 onions all these years, maybe 10 years. And therein, I believe, lies the problem with our size issue on the Rosa de Roscoff. I don't think that our strain of Rosa de Roscoff onions has the genetic diversity. We've been growing that onion all these years from the same 2 onions. And although I'm not a plant specialist, I'm just a homesteader, I think I know enough about saving seeds to know that you need to grow a lot of seed plants, even if you're just growing them for yourself. Danielle and I have visited the famous the famous seed saver Will Bonsall of Maine. And he told us that if you're saving seeds, you need to have a 20 to 30 plants minimum for the genetic diversity, and 50 plants would be even better. Well, we don't have the space. We're not a commercial seed growing operation. So we try for 20 seed plants of everything that we grow. And if we don't have 20, then we don't treat any seed that we may get from that seed plant with any seriousness. We may grow it out, but we don't try to save seed from that. We try to get good genetics in our seed. So let me show you the Rosa de Roscoff seed plants. I've shown them to you all many times, but they're getting bigger. I was going to wait until tomorrow night when I do my Wednesday night walk around But let's go over there right now and I'll show you how they're doing. These are the Rosa de Roscoff seed plants. They seem to be doing quite well. If you look closely, I'll see if I can zoom in to this one, for example. You can see the individual little, I don't know what they're called, little individual florets maybe, where seed is growing inside. And that's quite exciting. I don't know if I can focus in on that very well. I don't have the greatest lens. But yeah, all these onion plants seem to be doing well. I originally put 20 of them in the ground last fall. And of the 20, 19 came back up. We overwintered them right in the ground. Did not even put any plastic, did not even put any mulch over them. Just put them in the ground and they did just fine. And so those are Rosa de Roscoff onion seed. And I'm going to, if we get a good crop, I'm going to put out the message, the announcement on our YouTube channel that I'd like to give some of these guys away to anybody who might want them. But now next to them we have scarlet, no wait a minute, I'm sorry. Next to them we have Jaune Dudube, and I don't know how to spell Dudube. Danielle does, but she hasn't come down to the garden quite yet. We have 3 carrots in the ground. And by golly, from just those 3 carrots, look at all of the carrot seed pods we have going on. From those 3 carrots, we should get thousands of seed. If everything goes well, that is. So that's great. Jaune Dudube carrot seed. And then over here, perhaps the prettiest seed flower is these Blue Solace. We have not purchased Blue Solace seed in years. We just keep saving seed. And again, I put 20 in the ground, and I believe 18 or 19 of them came up. They're just so beautiful. And you might even see the bumblebees working the flowers. This is our leek crop for this year, but look at that white, if I can get out of the way. Can you see that white stake on the ground? From that white stake back in my shadow, we have 20 leek plants that I've selected for seed. So from that white stake back to that, you might see a wire wicket. There's 20 leek plants. Those will not be consumed. I've hand selected those for seed production, 20 of them. And next year, those 20 should look like these by this time next year. So keep following the channel and I'll show them to you. We're over here now at the crop of Asa Craig onions in the ground. And if you look closely, you'll notice that they've started to fall over. They're pretty much done for the year. I'm going to leave them in the ground until next month, but they're pretty much finished growing. And so that variety is Asa Craig. To me, one of the most flavorful onions that I've ever tasted. Down here we have the storage onion, New York Early, and as you can see, they're all lying down. They're done. They are finished. I'm going to let them continue to stay in the garden because that's part of the drying off and hardening process. I want to show you something interesting though. This has been a very hot summer for everyone, and I'm trying to zoom in, but I'm not doing a good job of it. We have no, I can't do it. Okay, so if you look closely, you can see maybe three, I already took one out, three onion stalks that have seed pods on the end. To me, that's a sign of the onions being stressed. Yeah, there's four of them. There's 1, 2, 3, and a fourth one by the tomatoes. It tells me that the onions are being too stressed and that they're going to seed for survival. They're in survival mode. So the question is, why 3 different types of onions? So I believe that if you're homesteading or trying to grow your own food, or whatever you want to call it, you should be growing these 3 different types of onions. They are, number 1, pick out a variety of onion that you think is very flavorful. For us, it's Asa Craig, and I'm sure you have your favorite. So you want to pick that out. As far as the onions themselves go, I think we've got a good crop this year. We took great care to put down a lot of goat manure and compost in this bed ahead of time. Just beautiful sizes to these onions. I'm very happy with them this year. But you have to eat them quickly because these Asa Craigs go bad pretty quick also. We'll probably be giving half of them away. And then down here is these are the storage onions. They're doing okay. I do cluster plant them because we just don't have the room otherwise. I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of size for the saving of space. So to finish up, let's just say that it's good to have a good tasting onion if you have a favorite. I don't know what yours might be, but I said it several times already that mine is Asa Craig. And you have to have a storage onion because Asa Craig will not last very long in storage. So our storage onion this year is New York Early. In the past we've used Rosa or Rose, actually it's Rosa de Roscoff. And I forgot to say earlier that you need a red onion also for culinary reasons, because whenever we eat raw onions, we try to make them red onions. Usually we grow a variety called Rosa de Milano. It's a wonderful red onion, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't grow it. But so this year, for a switch, instead of a red onion, we're growing shallots. Shallots are just wonderful raw. I can sit in the garden and just eat shallots raw. So that's what you need. You need a good tasting onion, you need a storage onion, and you need some kind of a red onion or shallot. And then you should be good. And I think that every homesteader really owes it to themselves to grow onions in this manner. And the last thing, but the most important thing, is you want your onions to be open pollinated so that you can grow your own seed. If they're hybrids, I mean, you can grow seed and save seed, but you're not going to grow true to the original onion. Okay, so that's that rant. It's not really a rant. It's just my observations. So I hope that answers a lot of the questions that I've been getting about onions, and I think I answered the carrot questions. We're growing Jean de Dube, not a lot of them this year, and Scarlet Nance. Scarlet Nance is considered a storage carrot. Jean de Dube is probably a better storage carrot. We're growing Jean de Dube seed over there right now. And otherwise, I think I'm going to cut this one a little short today because I have a lot of weeding to get done before it gets too awfully hot. So, okay, well thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.